time now for the lights to go out. It's time to say go, go, go. Yes, Leclerc holds on to the lead. Oh my goodness. Norris down to 5th. Oscar's still in 2nd position. Yeah, Leclerc's got this. Leclerc's got this race. Yes, come on, Ferrari. Come on, Ferrari. Wait, what? What's going on? What? How on earth did Leclerc finish 4th? 42nd? Oh, for fuck's sake, Ferrari. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Yes, we've just had the Hungarian Grand Prix. Yes, and what can we say about that race? Well, as an entertainment factor, I'm going to give it 4. As a strategical race, it's definitely worth a 7. There was a lot of strategies going on, lots of things going on during the circuit, but unfortunately, no entertainment value for me whatsoever because nobody crashed. No, nobody crashed. So it was just boring to me. So I'll give it a 4 out of 10. But if you're going for the strategy calls and what was going on the circuit, I'd give it a 7. At least the race went ahead and there was no problems. I'd give it a 7 for that. But overall, I had to give it a 4 out of 10 because it was one of those races which just pretty much sends you to sleep, to be honest, doesn't it? But anyway, we will move on. So, of course, we're going to go to the incidents. Well, Leclerc pulled away from the line, still in the lead. Norris was the big surprise. He actually dropped down to 5th position and Oscar was in 2nd place. Now, the incidents during the race was Isaac Hajar reported over the radio that he'd completely fucked his hand up due to the fact that it had been hit by gravel. Now, as an ex-motorbike rider, I can tell you that gravel is definitely not your friend. No, definitely not your friend. I fell off my motorbike once and ended up going right on one side across the tarmac straight through gravel. And it went all the way down my right-hand leg. And oh my God. Gravel rash is very, very bad indeed. Yes. And it doesn't heal either. It just keeps getting worse and worse. It really does. So in terms of Isaac's injury, I would say that was probably pretty painful. So let's have a look at that right now.
Mate, my head is... I took all the gravel.
It's just going to be the gravel here. So Behrman's off. Clatter. I think you can see it on the left hand. Yeah, he's taken his hand off there. So that is exactly it.
Yeah, ouch is what I say to that. He's very, very lucky. And some of that gravel didn't actually go up higher into his helmet. Could have cracked his visor or, God forbid, done anything else more serious than that. But he was okay. It was okay, apart from his hand, obviously. I didn't see any reports after the race whether, it was probably just shock. When you get hit, something like that, you do start to go into shock a little bit and you wonder what the hell's going on, and then it usually settles down when you realise, things aren't too bad. Things aren't too bad. So anyway, the next incident during the race was on lap 30, of course, when Maxi Boy Verstappen overtook Lewis Hamilton. Let's have a look at that right now.
Up against Oscar Piastri. And Max Verstappen's got the inside line! My word, that is a fast corner to try that move!
Oh dear. Well, what can you say about Lewis Hamilton during this race? Where did he start? 14th position, I think, something like that. And he finished in 12th place. I mean, after his comments the day before the Grand Prix, you got to say it's not looking good in the Ferrari camp. I'm still very intrigued to understand, because Lewis did say when he's been interviewed that things were going on behind the scenes at Ferrari. I'd be very interested to know what exactly that means and why would he say that to the popular press, because he basically knows that people are going to pull him up on that at some point, maybe in the future. I don't know, but what are the things going on behind the scenes at Ferrari? Is it absolute chaos at Ferrari right now? Well, of course, we won't hear about it because we're just mere mortals. But yeah, it's not looking good. And apparently the Ferrari strategy calls were wrong again today. Charles Leclerc came over the radio and did a huge list of complaints. Like, it was like a shopping list. It was so long they couldn't even fit it on the screen. Saying you should have just let me do it. I mean, he's basically engineering himself right now, it seems, at Ferrari. So, cock knows what is going on in that team at the moment. But they've got a 7-time world champion who is basically being schooled by every other driver. And you've got Charles Leclerc saying, you really should let me take control of this? What is happening with their engineers? I mean, you know, they're supposed to be in charge of this stuff, not the drivers. The drivers are supposed to just drive the car and report any problems back or anything like that. They're not supposed to be sorting out, you know, the technical aspects. So I'm very confused. It seems like a shit show at Ferrari. Almost as bad as Red Bull, but not as much. Yes. Let's just have a look at Red Bull, shall we? Yes. So Maxi Boy finished in a pretty low position, even for Max, it has to be said. And Red Bull are just... I don't know. I said in a video last week that I didn't think the Red Bull effect would come in for ages yet, because they're a well-oiled machine. It will be like years down the line before their performance level drops. But looking at Hungary, it looks like their performance level has dropped already, because Max was nowhere and teammate Yuki was even more into nowhere. So yeah, it's not looking good for Red Bull at the moment. Now, of course, it is Hungary. It's a very tight and twisty circuit. Max has complained before about the handling characteristics of the Red Bull, so it may just have been that. It may also have been that the drivers were just, you know, at this stage now where they're just completely knackered and are more looking forward to 3 weeks off than actually driving the cars. And I can understand that, you know. It's a very, very tough season. I've said from the start, 24 races is far too many, and, you know, people are burning out. It is clear to see, and I think one of those, unfortunately, is Lewis Hamilton. So anyway, so that's what happened with Max. Not a very good result, it has to be said. And then, of course, we move on to, of course, Jules, where's my bloody contract of the Russell, and his little entretente with Charles Leclerc. He accused Charles of weaving. Well, yes, he definitely was, and he did end up with a penalty for that, which I think was justified, unless Charles has been watching too many of my all seasons videos. That was definitely more than one move, and it was very, very aggressive. But we have seen this before from Charles Leclerc, and we're going to see it again.
Time to think about letting Oscar by last time.
I was moving under braking. I committed, and he moved while braking. Almost lost his back of him. It's clearly not allowed.
Russell.
Take two, 1 lap later, and there's the late move. Pinch to the apex, Russell gets by. Charles Leclerc will try the up and under. That was real brinkmanship between the pair of them, but Russell gets by, and he's got DRS to take 3rd position in the Grand Prix.
And so, of course, the last move of the Grand Prix was between the McLaren boys. I think it was 1 lap from the end. Oscar's pastry does an audacious dive bomb on Lando Norris, almost ended in tears.
Piastri shaping for it, going late, locking up.
I think Oscar's probably got a slightly better car control than Lando Norris, I do believe. And so when he gets into sticky situations, I think he's got the measure of his car, unlike Lando, who seems to put his car in impossible situations and ends up with a broken front wing. Silverstone. So yeah, I think he was okay, but he came very, very close to smacking straight in the back of Lando Norris. And imagine the consternation from Zach Brown if that had happened. Oh my God, that would have been epic. But anyway, they got away with it, and Lando Norris won the race. He won the race on a one-stop strategy. He definitely schooled all the other drivers, and I'm heaping praise on him now after all the things I've said about him in the past, and I've said that he's never going to be a world champion, and look what he's doing now. He's deliberately proving me wrong. Yes, deliberately proving to make me look like a fool, and I bet you now he's going to win this championship. There's only 9 points in it. I bet you now he's going to win this championship. It's going to be absolutely disastrous for me. Yes, in the comments if he does, it really is. I can hear the comments being typed out now, and it's not even the end of the season yet. But anyway, so well done to Lando Norris, of course, for winning the Hungarian Grand Prix. So it's time now for someone's favourite part of the show. Yes, it is the drivers' standings as we go into the 3-week break. So in the lead at the moment is still Oscar's pastry, 284 points, but climbing ever closer to Oscar is Lando Norris in second place with 275 points. Damn you, Lando! I thought you weren't mentally strong enough. He's doing it on purpose, I'm telling you. In third place, it's still Max Verstappen with 187 points. I don't think he's got any chance of catching Lando Norris, to be honest, but he's got every chance of maintaining third place if Jordan and Russell doesn't get past him. As you can see, in fourth position, he's on 172 points, so it is possible that George could get past Max and take over third place in the championship. If you look at it on his performance level at Hungary, it is possible, but I'll say it's just Hungary, so that might have been a one-off. In fifth position right now is Charles Leclerc with 151 points. Of course, it didn't affect him getting that penalty because he was about 30 seconds ahead of Fernando Alonso, so he still got his points. In sixth place, it is, of course, Lewis Hamilton, Lulu, with 109 points. The question is, will he still be at Ferrari in 2026? I'm not quite sure. I'm actually thinking that there's going to be an announcement during this summer break. If not, obviously they'll wait until the end of the year, but I don't know. I think Lewis Hamilton's days are definitely numbered at Ferrari. But I hope they're not. I hope they're not, and I hope he continues into 2026. Because as I've said loads of times before, he is one of the real characters of the sport, and it will be a huge blow when he leaves. It will be a huge blow when he leaves. In seventh place, we've got Kimi Antonelli with 64 points. Yeah, he did well at the start of the season, but his performance level now seems to be dropping off a little bit. That may be due to the fact that he's still very, very young, only 18 years old. Still got oodles to learn, it has to be said. And he could be at that stage now where even at 18 years old, he's getting tired. Because, you know, stamina builds over time, years and years it takes you to build stamina. He's just coming into this cutthroat world of Formula One, and he's now at the sharp end, and he's probably, you know, just saying to himself, well, this is more difficult than I thought it was. So at the start of the season, he was fresh, he was young, he was ready to go, but now he's probably aged by 7 years, because that's what it's like in Formula One. You actually age in dog years. He's probably aged by 7 years now, and he's like, well, this is tougher than I thought. But anyway, I hope he does well. And obviously now, with Max Verstappen confirming that he's still staying, of course, Kimi Antonelli will be at Mercedes in 2026, partnering George Russell, we think, because of course I don't know if that contract's been signed yet. Possibly not. But I'm pretty sure it will be, to be honest. So in 8th position, we've got Alexander Albon in the first of the Williams with 54 points. And in 9th place, we got, of course, yes, Mr. Podium himself, Nico Hülkenberg in the Kick Sauber with 37 points. Didn't do that great, has to be said, in the Hungary race, but still 37 points on the table. 10th position is Esti Besti in the Haas with 27 points. And in 11th place, I have to say 11th and 12th, Fernando Alonso with 26. And look at this, now level pegging with his own teammate. He was behind him, of course, with 26 points. I have to say, fantastic to Fernando Alonso, and you old bugger. Honestly, he's 44 years old. Yeah, now, of course, they said at the start of the Grand Prix that the Aston Martin is more suited to these tight and twisty circuits. So that's where the performance level has come from. But take nothing away from the fact that Fernando Alonso has wrung the neck of that Aston Martin and got into almost the serious points, as to be said. He was just below the serious points. And just fantastic. And Lance Stroll, what can you say about Lance Stroll? I don't know. But look at that, 26 apiece. Don't think I'd ever see that, and there it is. In 13th place, it's Isaac Hajar for the Racing Bulls with 22 points. In 14th place, it's Pierre Gasly in the first of the Alpines, 20 points. Liam Lawson's in 15th place with 20 points as well. Carlos Sainz is in 16th position right now in the Williams. Very, very disappointing. 16 World Championship points only. Don't forget, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. A former Ferrari winner. Just 16 points on the board. What does this mean for Carlos Sainz? Does this mean he's like Daniel Ricciardo? Daniel Ricciardo was, of course, in the Red Bull when the Red Bull was a championship winning car. And his performance level reflected that. Of course, he wasn't as good as Seb, but he was up there. Then he changed teams. Then he changed teams again. I think then he changed again, didn't he? And then he changed. He went through so many teams. And every single team he went to, that performance was nowhere near what he was at Red Bull. So was his performance being hidden by the fact that the Red Bull was so good? And is that now happening with Carlos Sainz? He's now in a car which isn't as competitive as the Ferrari, although some people would say the Ferrari is not very competitive at all, and I would possibly agree with that. But is that the reason why now Carlos Sainz isn't doing very well? Or is it just because he can't get to grips with the Williams? Has it got different torque characteristics and different everything, and that means he just can't get on top of it? Who knows? But it's still disappointing for Carlos Sainz in 16th place. 17th position, Gabriel Bortoleto. Okay, I've had some people have a go at me about putting down Gabriel Bortoleto. So he's got 14 points now in the Kick Sauber. Congratulations, and yes, he is doing very well indeed. He was the best of the rookies anyway when he came into this season. He had the most experience, and he was the F2 or F3 champion? Can't remember, but he came straight into it from being a champion. So and as someone said in the commentary afterwards, he's just been sitting back and building up this confidence, building up this pace, and now we think he's got it. So congratulations to Gabriel Bortoleto. In 18th position, it is Yuki Tsunoda with just 10 World Championship points, which I've said before, I've been a real champion of Yuki Tsunoda, but he's doing shit in that second car. It has to be said. I know that car is cursed. The second car is cursed, but he's doing nothing. He really is. He's doing nothing. 10 points compared with Maxi is just pathetic. It's supposed to be the same car. We all know, of course, it's not. It's set up for Maxi Boy, but even so, that's still a very good car, and he's doing nothing with it. He might just as well be in a Sauber with that kind of performance that he's chucking out. Oliver Behrman is in 19th place with just 8 points. I have to say it's been a pretty poor season for Behrman. He's had a few problems though, hasn't he? But he's only 8 points to show for it. So hopefully his second half of the season will pick up. Unlike Franco Colapinto, who's currently in 20th with 0 points, and Jack Doohan, of course, is out of Formula One as a driver, and I think he's now the test driver, isn't he, for Alpine. So there you go. Those are the race results after Hungary. It's now time for a 3-week break. Thank goodness. Yes. F1 will be back at the end of August for the Netherlands race, 29th to the 31st of August. So we've got almost a whole month, bar a few days, and then it will be the next Grand Prix. And I think all the drivers need to sit on a sun lounger and drink mojitos or whatever it is you kids do these days, and just relax. And one of those especially needs to be Lewis Hamilton. He needs to relax. Now, I saw an interview with him, and apparently he never stops. He never stops from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep. He never stops. He's got 4 other interests outside of Formula One. He's got businesses that he owns as well as doing Formula One. Personally, I think that's probably a bit too much, and I think he should concentrate on the Formula One. Those kind of other things that he's doing, he can always come back to them when the inevitable happens. But for his Formula One career, I think he should concentrate more on that at the moment, because he's definitely having problems. Now, are they Lewis Hamilton problems or are they Ferrari problems? Is he just not gelling in that team? It could be that. I don't know. But we will see, and I'm hoping for a rejuvenated Lewis when he comes back in 3 weeks' time. I'm hoping so anyway. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always, and I'll catch you in the next video. And let me know in the comments what you thought about the Grand Prix. Was it a snooze fest? Did you find it exciting? I did like the strategy, I must admit, but the actual race itself, no, it's only a 4, because there wasn't even a single crash, was there? Not even 2 cars came together. I was like, what is going on? Please. You know I like my smashes. No injuries. I'm not that kind of person, but I do like a nice crash. Yes. I like all that carbon fibre flying everywhere and knowing that that's cost the teams about £1 million in the damage. Yes. I love that bit. That's my favourite bit. Yes. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.